did you see there? Because I don't know if you've seen Vax 3 yet, but some of the stories that came in are horrific about people being put on remdesivir, 4-point restraints, starved, not being given water, fentanyl, death. Can you talk? Did you see any of that?
I saw all of that, Polly, and more. I talk about it often. What we saw, it was a never-ending assembly line of remdesivir, ventilator, death, wash, rinse, repeat. It was an incredibly confusing time for the nurses. It was, it was a frightening time for us. COVID was brand new on the scene. We didn't know much about the medication remdesivir, but we see all of our patients, and despite all of our best efforts, none of them were getting well. In fact, I can only remember 2 that made it off the ventilator during that time. But we had to start asking, well, I did, and a couple of other nurses started asking the question about why were we using the medication remdesivir, which we know is an antiviral medication. And if you understand how antiviral medications work, then you understand that they rely on viral replication in order to be effective. And by the time that these patients were getting to us in the ICUs, because if you remember, patients were going into the ER and the doctors were telling them to go home and come back when you can't breathe. Don't take any Tylenol, don't take any ibuprofen, none of that. Just go home, come back when you can't breathe. So by the time that they were getting to us in the ICU, they're already past the replication phase and into their symptomatic phase. So that medication wasn't going to be effective regardless. So we saw that happening over and over again. And I started asking the question, why do we continue to use this medication? It's clearly doing more harm than good. There had been, plenty of studies that have shown that it leads to an increase in mortality and a decrease in renal function. And that's what we were seeing happening, was all of our patients were going into organ failure. So I have to ask myself, and I ask people this all the time, do you think 1 million people died in this country of COVID? They didn't. They died of the complete and total medical mismanagement and malfeasance that occurred during the pandemic. Ask yourself, why were we only pulling bodies out of hospitals? Nobody was dying anywhere else.
Right. Nobody